I never wanted to leave home. My name is Kosi, and I grew up in a small town deep in the heart of Togo. At first, it was a place where everyone knew each other. The kind of town where your family had a role carved out by history. For generations, my parents' family had been pillars in our community. If you were new, even passing through, it was normal to go greet my parents first. It was a ritual, a kind of warm welcome that made sure no stranger felt alone. The town was changing, though. Slowly, it grew from a huge village into a proper little town. That was exciting. With growth came things like a missionary hospital, which helped many people stay alive and healthy longer. Even though the town was now bigger and strangers appeared more often, there was still kindness. When two people passed each other on the street, they greeted. People helped each other, smiled. Politeness was the main language of the place. But then, about 1 year ago, everything shifted. It started the day a man appeared, walking from one end of the main road to the other. No one knew where he came from or where he was going. His clothes were familiar to us, a style worn by locals who seemed well off, but not flashy. What made him strange wasn't his clothes, it was how he moved and what he didn't do. The man never once looked up. He didn't greet anyone. It was as if people weren't there, or he had no eyes to see them. People at my home gathered that evening. It was my parents' idea to call the elders and others who saw the man. We talked and tried to make sense of it. Some said maybe he was just tired or sick. Some whispered that maybe his face was a monster's, but no one could say for sure. He never turned his head. No one could describe what his face looked like, only that it was blank or empty. That night, we had no conclusion, everyone feeling like something important had happened, but nobody could name it. Then more men showed up. Or maybe it was the same man, passing again and again, no one could say. But after their visits, something inside the town started to change. People stopped looking each other in the eyes. They no longer smiled like before. And it wasn't just a lost habit. It was as if the warmth disappeared. I remember in school, during recess, my friends stopped greeting me. A boy I've known since first grade ignored me completely as if I was invisible. No explanation, no reason. Just silence and coldness. One day, when I went with my parents to the market, the same thing happened. When we approached the food stall, the seller barely looked at us. He fixed his eyes somewhere beyond us, and mumbling sounds escaped his mouth. My mother tried to thank him for the fruits with a smile, but he didn't respond. Instead, another customer stepped forward without a word, taking the fruits and handing money silently. The whole market felt as if it had been frozen in cold fog, alive but distant. That was the last straw for my parents. One night, almost without warning, they told me we were leaving for France. They said they didn't want me growing up here, in a place where people refused to look at each other. They didn't say much about why, but I felt the fear in their voices. It felt like the darkness had crept into every corner of our lives, and there was no escaping it, except by running. But now I'm here in France, and I see it again. People walk past one another in the streets without greeting or even a glance. Shops, schools, streets, everyone feels blank, locked inside unseen shells of themselves. Sometimes I catch a flicker in their eyes, and an empty feeling creeps into my chest. Could it be that same strange thing that haunted my town? Did it come here too? Has it already taken hold of this place without us noticing? I write this because I want to understand. I want to know when it arrived here, if at all. I want to know if someone else has seen it, felt it, because I fear I'm not safe, not really anywhere now. It feels like the story that made me leave home didn't end in Togo. It followed me, like a shadow waiting to swallow the warmth of humanity once again.